Here are some ideas about increasing the independence of students in the classroom. First of all, a grade 3 teacher and I discussed the idea of using a counting wheel to help students finish 3 tasks before they come back to ask her a question. So here, when students finish 1, 2, 3 tasks, they turn the wheel, they've completed the image, and they know that they've finished enough work that they can go back and ask her another question. We also discussed the use of visuals for routine activities. One student, for instance, always needed his hundreds chart and his dry eraser marker to complete his math activities, and that's what he needed every day, but he did require reminders to find these 2 materials. And so I made up this quick visual and taped it to his math binder, and he is now able to just refer to this, sometimes with the reminder of having someone point to this visual, but he's able to go and find those 2 items without multiple reminders. We also discussed the idea of having students ask a classmate what is the next activity or what is the task that they currently need to work on. So this is a step toward independence, kind of like a semi-step toward it, where they're not asking their teacher, but they're asking a peer. And we don't want to encourage dependence on other students, but if this is discussed in advance and if students are given the opportunity to practice how to implement this, it can be quite a useful strategy and give students another tool to hopefully wean them off of needing to ask the teacher each and every time what they're meant to do next. Next, we discussed having the students be involved in the organization of their own materials and supplies. So when everything has a home, hopefully they feel more independent to access where the materials are, and giving them ownership over this is really important as well. Having them label their own bins, binders, tabs and dividers and binders as well is a great way to increase their confidence, and hopefully it will motivate them to access and find their materials because they were involved in creating the organization of them. So we've seen that to be successful as well, and it can be personalized with stickers or whatever interests them as well. Another thing this teacher and I discussed was her proximity to students who ask her questions frequently. And I only bring this one up because speech therapists also consider this, and they do decrease their proximity and their cueing and their help as a way to encourage students to be independent in using new strategies to complete work on their own. So here's a layout of the classroom, and the teacher positioned herself here with 3 students in the front who needed her help frequently during math activities, for instance. And so we discussed the idea of how she might want to move physically far away from them to this part of the classroom, or this part, helping other students, or just observing them from this distance to see if they could complete 1, 2, 3 tasks on their own before she would return to them. So perhaps she could be in these other parts of the classroom for, at first, just 1 minute at a time, and then increase this to 2 and 3 minutes, and hopefully stretch their tolerance for doing work on their own in the classroom.